Hi, greetings to everyone. क्या हाल है आपका? Well, I want to say that this time I'm going to do swag से सबका स्वागत. As the man of swag is right here, the tiger who shall always be the tiger on screen. Salman Khan and the actress who is a legitimate example of how cultural diversity in a Hindi film cast can actually work wonders in the long run. Katrina Kaif. I'm Atika Farooqui and today is the day of the tiger. Highlights must follow right now. A personal chat with the heartthrob. From Loverboy to Tiger, here is Salman Khan himself, raking over 400 crores at the box office. A tete-a-tete with Katrina Kaif, etching out Zoya on screen needed practice, discipline and kick-ass action skills. A chat with Anoushka Shankar on her music legacy pedigree. Salman Khan and Katrina Kaif have been Tiger and Zoya on screen for over a decade now. A dating couple to a married couple with a kid who will go to any length to protect their child and the nation. India is changing. So are Hindi film scripts and plots. It's been the biggest Diwali release for Tiger and the box office figures are so staggering that the Tiger himself came out and talked about it. I met up with them at Yash Raj's studio and here is the chat. So an interesting part about this franchise is also कि तीन फिल्में तीन अलग-अलग directors direct कर चुके हैं. And I think all of them have been pretty fine, pretty nice.
No, they've done a fantastic job. Start with Kabir and then Ali and now Manish. All of them, they all have the different styles. They all have the different takes on Tiger. My character doesn't change, but the way they portray my character and Zoya's character in every film, they are, they have something, special about them.
Yeah. So there's this beautiful hammam scene in this movie. Yash Raj reaches the entire world, and there is a difference between being very sexy, sassy, and very beautifully aesthetic, well shot. At the same time, being cross-cultural and kind of being very mindful of different cultures, from Western world to Middle Eastern world to Far Eastern world, and you have a following everywhere. What was on your mind while shooting this scene?
I thought it was a really fun sequence. I think both Adi and Manish had conceptualized the sequence, and I think it came out, what we really wanted it to come out was that these two women who were both professional fighters were actually fighting.
Yeah.
And I think that the team who were there with us.
Who's the other actress there with you?
She's an actress who's from Los Angeles.
And so she's like a trained...
And she's a trained fighter.
Wow.
She's a trained fighter, which I think gave the scene even more realism.
Yes.
Because when someone has that speed, it automatically makes your movements look even sharper.
Yeah.
And we had a phenomenal team with us who came from internationally. They choreographed the sequence beautifully. And it was a lot of hard work to shoot that sequence, but I think it came out looking very realistic. And that's what we really wanted. We wanted that to come across, that these are both professional women who are skilled fighters. And I think it was shot beautifully, shot very aesthetically. And I think it was a lot of fun. It was a very novel idea, and I think it's come out really well.
Yeah.
Correct. Right.
You like to
Right.
No, you don't add to it. Actually, let me come to the title of the movie.
No, so the only one thing about that is कि वो sequence इतना अच्छा shoot हुआ और edit हुआ है और choreograph हुआ है कि नज़र कहीं और नहीं जाती, कहीं और नहीं जाती, सिर्फ जाती है कि ये दो बड़ी ही skilled fighters fight कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, absolutely. I must come to the title. Salman, this is a phenomenal title to behold. You will be the tiger for the rest of your life till the world shall end. You are the tiger. And you know what are the qualities of a tiger? This creature is indefatigable. इसको आप हरा नहीं सकते. मतलब चीता होता है.
चीता होता है, टाइगर होता है.
टाइगर होता है.
अलग जानवर
बात भी सही है. Actually right. But this title is such a beautiful title in the world of commercial cinema. कि it cannot go wrong. आप किसी भी सीन में टाइगर को रख दीजिए, टाइगर रहेगा तो टाइगर ही. और कुछ तो stroke of good luck और stars भी बहुत अच्छे हैं. Things are falling so beautifully into place that it automatically puts the crown on your shoulders. And so would you like to talk about the title and how, I mean, from Prem to Tiger, what a trajectory, है ना? You like being Tiger?
So, yeah, I like being Prem too. So there are two different facets of me, you know. That is also a part of me at home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
अगर मैं घर पर टाइगर
तो पापा जो
तो टाइगर एक्चुअली वो टाइगर है.
असली टाइगर है. Yeah.
So yeah.
So what was his reaction, by the way?
To play a character like this, you need to work really hard.
Yeah.
You need to work really, really hard, and which is what I am enjoying it now. Instead of spending that extra time in the gym, you do that, and then you spend that 6-8 hours, you know, on a set, you know, on rehearsals, on sets, you know, doing those things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it gets difficult, but it's very satisfying, and it keeps you very healthy and strong.
Yeah, absolutely. What has it done to your mental strength and fitness, Katrina? I think playing Zoya is quite a challenge, and preparing for it for months altogether turns you into a different person, isn't it?
Definitely. I think over the last 11 years, probably Ek Tha Tiger was a new experience for me, doing action, being in this kind of action world. And from then, the second one with Tigers in the Hair, I kind of knew what to expect. And I knew that, okay, it's going to benefit me if I do a lot more of, you know, animal flow training, a lot more fluid training, action training, and spending more time on that. And I think that's what's probably gives you that finesse and gives you that speed in your action. You know, Salman, and he's been doing action for so many years, but for me, it was still, Ek Tha Tiger was new for me. I think now with Tiger 3, it's a zone that I'm really comfortable in, and it's a zone that I enjoy. I enjoy the action sequences. We enjoy the choreography, to see what new things we can come up with to make it even more, to make it an even larger spectacle for the audience, even more impressive as you know, a new sequence. What idea can we come up with?
A Zoya film, a spin-off?
And also, you know, Tiger, this is an important question.
I think this should be in the cards in future. A film on Zoya, with Zoya as a central lead, an action and thriller film. I think it warrants that, isn't it?
If there's ever a script or the right script which warrants that, then I mean, I'm sure we'd all love to look at it. I really believe that every film it's in the script first. You know, it's not like we never thought, for example, with Ek Tha Tiger, we never thought, let's make a spy film.
Yeah, exactly.
Kabir sat down and he wrote what came to him from his heart. He wrote this beautiful love story, which was about these two incredible spies. And
Kabir's mother was one parent is an MP and the other was a drama theatre person. That's why. I mean, these experiences when put into a art form.
So first came the script, first came the story, and then came the description of the film. So I think if you have a film and an amazing story to tell that happens to be female-centric, then that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful. And in the end, देखिए हैं तो दोनों titans, Tiger and Zoya.
अगर फाइट हो गई,
Tiger और Zoya में हुई,
तो कौन जीतेगा?
हाँ.
तो मैं आपको एक बात बताऊं,
A good husband
टाइगर जोया को जीतने
देगा. That's so expected of you. And lastly, after all these years, how do you celebrate the success of a film? I'm sure you're beyond that. Party करेंगे, ये करेंगे. No. What feeling does the success of your film bring to your mind now, and how do you verbalize it or express it?
I think gratitude and relief.
Yeah, relief, yeah. You?
शुक्र अदा करो, बस घर जाओ, अगले पर
मम्मा की पीली दाल खाओ, सो जाओ.
अगले पर वापस से concentrate करो. I don't think that success को दिमाग में लेना चाहिए. Success has destroyed more people than failure.
Yeah.
So I don't think वो आना ही नहीं चाहिए कि वो घमंड नहीं आना चाहिए किसी में.
Yeah. Well, kudos to the success of Tiger and many, many, many more installments in the Tiger franchise. I'm waiting for it, and I'm sure everybody is waiting for it because it's so beautiful at so many levels. And thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being in conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And this week has been very interesting, where I shot with Salman and Katrina and then only with Miss Kaif in a more private heart-to-heart space. Cormac McCarthy had said, keep a little fire burning, however small, however hidden. Graceful as always, I first shot with Katrina at the release of Sing is King many, many years ago. She has come a long way. Here she talks about Zoya, the spunky fighter, and the actor behind this character. Katrina, many congratulations on the super success of Tiger 3.
Thank you.
I must tell you, an innocent face and a sporty, spunky, athletic body is a luxurious, most luxurious visual to watch on screen.
I don't know that, but I'm going to take your word for it.
I was reminded of Zeenat Aman and how in the last many years we had lost that prototype of an actress, and now we get it back with you doing action on screen. So great, so happy to see that. So I'm told that the weekend collection and the opening is one of the biggest for you, Salman, Tiger franchises, and many films over the past many, many years. What is the data that you've got, and does data for an actress like you, having spent more than 2 decades in the industry, matter a lot?
Definitely. I think the validation at the box office is important. It's important to any actor because that's the feedback we get. That's in a way the audience's acceptance of the film.
Yeah.
Tiger, the Tiger franchise, which has now become a franchise, but originally just started out as a film called Ek Tha Tiger, which was one of the films closest to my heart. I thought Zoya and Tiger had such phenomenal roles, and it was so well written by Kabir Khan, and I absolutely loved that film. And when they said, okay, listen, we're going to make a second part to it with Tiger Zinda Hai, I was like, wow, okay. I mean, I was really interested to see where they would take the story. And you had Ali Abbas Zafar, who was again a friend of mine, directing that film. And I think he has a natural affinity to these larger-than-life spectacle films. And he did such a beautiful job with taking the story forward. You know, he did it very with a lot of ease.
Yes.
And in Tiger 3, I think there's a lot of maturity in the story. It's a different film. It's a different language. Manish Sharma has a very different way of looking at storytelling. He has a very unique lens. He really wants to delve into the characters. You know, he wants to know the backstories. He wants to know what they're thinking, what drives them, and that makes the film. It gives it a very new spin.
It was all started by Kabir, but then they took it forward.
Yes.
And this is such a gender statement, also a socio-political statement, also a larger statement. A woman who has a baby. You know, the man and the woman both have graduated in their ages. It's no longer just about youthful women and handsome men. It's about characters. And inner strength, mental strength also matters more than the physical strength in the last 20 decades, 20 years or so of watching action films. So there I thought the emotional quotient of the film was much higher than other action films. Don't you think so?
I think that the way, like you said, the writing of a film has just been really, really beautiful. There's been so much thought given to the characters. There's the emotional angles of the film are so intense and are so layered, and the way that they've given such respect to all the characters is what is really special for me. And you know, the fact that Zoya, a female character, you get to see her mounted in a film like this, a film of this scale, and we see such a strong female character. I think that's really heartening to see.
I read a news article. I have shot a number of times with Vicky, and once he told me, we were talking about Prahar, one very understated action. It was not an action film, but it was actually Shyamji's first film as a action director, and we got talking about action and this whole world, and I saw and read a news article where Shyamji compliments you on your action skills. I thought, I mean, I don't have to ask anything or on this, but would you like to elaborate? It's such a compliment coming from a dad-in-law. It's India.
No, he was very, very happy when he saw the film. The first, he had just come off a flight and he was like, I'm getting so many calls from members of the media and they are saying that Zoya's action is so fantastic in the film and I feel so proud. And I think that was a very lovely reaction. It made me very happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the finest compliments to get from your own dad-in-law.
Because he's such a renowned action director himself. So
has he ever directed you in the past?
Yes, very much so. We've done New York together. We've done a film called Phantom together. So we worked together quite a few times.
Wow, how life comes a full circle.
Yes.
Right? So sweet. And you know, in a world where generally actors sometimes they have to highlight their achievements, often bordering on exaggeration, you have maintained a very peaceful ecosystem where you come out of the cocoon once your work comes out and then you silently go back and retreat. It's kind of nice to
the
see
analogy that you've made. I like that. I think that's well put.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. So what is your relationship with the popular trends of the industry?
No, what I think is beautiful about this industry is, yes, there are, like you said, the norms, but you also can do what's right for you. And you also can participate at your own pace and your own comfort. For me, my work is worship. I think so much of my identity has come from my work and the movies I do. And when I'm on a film set, everything else is secondary. You know, when I'm on a film set, my focus is complete and absolute in that world. And anything else regarding, like you're saying, the frills of the industry. I think that is up to you. That is optional as a person. You know, I have so many wonderful friends, and of course I enjoy spending time with him. But if you're talking about things like, you know, airport looks or what you're doing on social media, I think that's just needs to come from you organically. There's no right or wrong according to me, and your films need to speak, and that's what I believe.
So overexposure is not your thing.
Like I said, it's each to their own. I won't comment on whether something is over or under. It's each to their own, right? Like if it makes you happy, then definitely, you know, then absolutely you should do what makes you happy. Just being honest to yourself, being true to your personality and what works for you. I think that's what's important.
Right. And lastly, I read somewhere, I was watching a video where you said that Gone with the Wind was your inspiration.
Oh, now you're talking a good few years back.
Few years back.
Gone with the Wind was one of my favorite films. I grew up on these old classic films. And that was how I saw cinema. You know, movies was this romantic, nostalgic, beautiful fantasy world.
And where
women
were women. You know, fragile yet tough. Yet serene.
I mean, women are complex, complex, and there's so many different layers to a woman, and everyone is different. You know, of course, we generalize by saying that, but everyone is different, and there's no end to the different facets that a woman can portray on screen.
Yeah. So similarly, just connecting that, I think if a girl were to aspire to become an actor, I think this franchise could be one of those films which can inspire a girl to become an actor, right? It has a mix of everything.
I mean, that's really wonderfully put, and I definitely hope so. I definitely hope that that's what we've been able to achieve and do with this franchise and with this character.
Yeah, great. It's lovely talking to you always, Katrina.
Lovely talking to you.
Thanks for being so persistent, so consistent, and always excelling at what you do.
Thank you.
Time for a short break on the show. When we come back, we have Anoushka Shankar, daughter of legendary Pandit Ravi Shankar, multiple Grammy Award nominee. She talks about music and a very legitimate demands that she makes from the Recording Academy for a separate category of classical music. Of course, yes, I agree. Don't go away after the break. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui, 9-time 9 times Grammy nominee Anoushka Shankar explains what is taking time for the Recording Academy to include a category of classical music separately at the Grammys.
Anushka, you have a new album out called Chapter 1 Forever, for which you have collaborated with Arooj Aftab. It's not your first collaboration with Arooj. Please tell us more about this album. I really like the song Daydreaming.
Thank you. So yeah, it's called Chapter 1 Forever for now. And it's the first in a series of mini albums I'm releasing over the course of 1 year, which is just a new approach I'm trying to see what it feels like to release smaller collections frequently while I'm on tour and connecting with people that way. And as you say, this first chapter was produced by my dear friend, the incredible musician Arooj Aftab, and also features one of my favorite musicians, one of my greatest inspirations, Neil Frum, on the song Daydreaming, and he also plays other instruments on some of the other tracks as well. So both of them create music that I find very, very intimate, very, very expansive. Somehow that duality exists within both of their musics. And I really wanted to make music that had that feel as well. So that's why I reached out to both of them. And it felt really key to work together to create this really special sound and a different sound world on this mini album that's very much about atmosphere and moment and emotion. And I feel really proud of what we did.
You're in India right now, and you'll be performing at Lollapalooza, which will be held in January. Please tell us more about it. Which is the song that you'll be performing?
Well, I'm really excited to be playing at Lollapalooza this year in January. It's only the second Lollapalooza, I believe, and I love playing at festivals. I think it really changes the atmosphere of the audience to be able to be outside and be casual and be moving, and I love that energy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and that's part of an overall tour I'll be doing with my quintet, promoting Chapter 1 Forever for now and playing music as well.
Your father, legendary Pandit Ravi Shankar, had said in one of his interviews that Anushka is just like me. She said people do come to me and tell him that when he was alive, that how they see certain characteristics of him in you. How do you see taking your father's legacy forward?
I don't think I'm exactly like him. I also see a lot of differences, and I think when I was younger, I was obviously learning from him. So I think I was like an empty vessel, where all of his teaching was coming to me and I was replicating it. And over the years and years of performing, I think my own identity, my own personality, my own voice has come into the music more and more. And so I feel like he is a huge central influence in who I am and the music I make. But not to the same extent that he may have seen 20 years ago.
Like I said, you're sort of a regular at the Recording Academy. You're a much revered name in the world of music. Recording Academy recently announced 3 new categories, which are African Music Performance, Best Alternate Jazz, and Best Pop Dance category. Do you think there should be a category also dedicated to Indian music, Indian classical music?
All of this is ultimately meaningless. I think the whole thing is a farce, all these genres and the way they're divided. So, sure, I think that would help. But I've been going to the Grammys for 20-something years now, and I remember when I first got my nomination, there was just world music, and then it became world music traditional and world music contemporary. And I thought that was a really interesting division. They didn't get enough submissions, so they made it back to world music. Then that became global music. And just a few years ago, they made it global music and global music perform. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's good. They're trying to make categories that accurately define what's happening in music. But I had a meeting with the CEO, Harvey Mason Jr., a couple of years ago, and they said it always depends on the number of submissions. So if they don't get enough submissions, they can't make the categories because it's not fair compared to the others. So I think what's important is that people from here, people who are making music here, submit their music. And the more music that's submitted there, the more they will see the representation is needed, and that they will make those categories. So people are lobbying for that, and that's.
You collaborate a lot with many renowned singers or musicians. How often has that happened? Or where you, while performing on stage, have you ever got into or competed with another musician while on stage?
That's a great question. I was talking about this with someone today, actually. That's like a hard no for me. I don't work with people like that. So I've been very fortunate through my career. You know, I've been able to make a lot of choices. Sometimes people can't make those choices, but usually I build my bands, or I'm choosing who I work with, and that's a hard no for me. You know, I've got to work with people where when we're coming together, there's no ego, and you're there to make music together. It's not about, oh, my solo, no, mine is biggie, mine has to be longer. You know, if you think like that, you're not thinking about the music anymore, and for me that doesn't work.
Well, on that happy note, many thanks for your time. We're looking forward to see you a lot in India now. I hope you do many concerts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellence is the best deterrent to racism or sexism, said Oprah Winfrey. Excel and keep the flame alive, and also be happy along the way, as Dalai Lama said. I repeat this to myself each day. Kabhi kamyabi milti hai, kabhi nahi. But we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning. We didn't start the fire. Keep that fire burning. I see you in the next episode. Till then, you take good care of yourself. And here is a good bye-bye from all of us.